What's going on, YouTube? JT Born here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman and Robin issue number 5. This one is written by Joshua Williamson with art by Nicola. I'm not even bothered to pronounce his last name. You can see it in the top left corner of the screen right there under Williamson's name. This one is not done by Simone Mayo in terms of the artwork, so we got a different artist this time, so it goes a very different, distinct looking style, and I actually quite liked it. But I'm going to jump into this and say this was my favorite issue of the series so far, because this is the stuff I really want to see. It's mostly kind of out of costume moments, and we get plenty of moments with Bruce and Damian in the costumes over the years, but it's the out of costume stuff that I'm more intrigued by in this comic book. We have Damian at high school, we have Bruce volunteering at parental events, and you get some humorous moments there where all the single moms are kind of simping over him, and you have a conversation between Bruce and one of Damian's teachers or principals, if you will, about him as a student and how she thinks he's very intelligent, but he's kind of quiet and reserved, like he's holding back in a lot of ways. So it's nice to kind of get those moments in there with this thing, and a lot of the stuff that Alfred would tend to do, Bruce has to kind of step up and do on his own. So we're getting kind of stuff that we haven't really seen with Bruce all that much, where he has to be kind of the single dad and taking care of a lot of things that, like I said, Alfred would normally do. But now that he's gone, Bruce has to kind of step up, and we're getting to explore kind of new things with their father-son relationship, and I like that stuff too. We also get some humorous moments too. We see Damian, what he's been trying to do at school, because one of his teachers or whatever he believes is his former teacher in the League of Assassins, or League of Shadows, or whatever you want to call it, Mistress Harsh, and he's wondering why. He's pretty certain she's also Shush, and he's wondering why is she at the school, what's her end game. There's also some funny moments here with Bruce volunteering, and you have all the moms are just like simping over him entirely. Damian's there. He's also kind of like dealing with stuff and the bullies and that at his school, and there's some comedic stuff in there for sure. There was also a moment beforehand where the few moments we get with them in the costumes, and I like Damian's like red suit here too. I think it looks pretty good, where they try to stop Orca and find information about Man-Bat and all that, but they don't really get too much information that way. Bruce decides, hey, with all that going on, I'm going to come to your school and try and help you with your investigation, because that's the reason Damian is really sticking around at school, because otherwise he doesn't really have a reason in his eyes to be here, because he's smarter than pretty much everyone there, but he's just doing more so an investigative thing. And we also find out where he's going to join the soccer team too. So we got that there. Bruce asks him how his investigation's going. We get to see a 5-day thing of him constantly monitoring his teacher, if you will. There's a funny bit where he was in PE and he knocked some kid unconscious with a dodgeball. You can even see like the smoke there, which is pretty funny. One of the school bullies is antagonizing him, which you can see right there, and you see the anger and rage in one single panel. And there's another one too where he's just kind of focusing on drawing, and some kid hits him with a soccer ball. And I love how Damian is kind of put in this situation where he has to show restraint, and he can very easily beat the living hell out of this kid, and he's just doing his best to hold back. And I think that makes for a lot of like strong comedic potential, because he's just holding as much restraint. It kind of reminds me of the show Ed, Edd n Eddy, where one of the Eds had leverage. I think it was over Sarah in one episode, but she couldn't actually fight back or something, and he's just doing like what he can to continually antagonize her until it eventually like blows up in their face. So there's some funny bits in there for sure. And of course Damian finds ways to kind of work around, like he'll kick a soccer ball really hard into this kid's gut, and before they break out into a full-blown fight, this girl named Erica comes in and kind of talks to Damian about the teacher, if you will, and how Principal Stone, I keep saying teacher, principal, kind of the same deal. Principal Stone kind of took over, and how she's also enlisting in some sort of soccer program and gives extra attention to the students within that. And he's like, so Damian tries out for soccer because he wants to get closer to Principal Stone, if you will. And again, there's some good moments here. Bruce talking with one of the teachers, if you will, who's a big fan of Damian's and finds him very smart, but she also thinks that he might be a little too advanced for some of this stuff, and she can see where he shows restraint. And it's nice to have Bruce having a conversation with somebody who's not a superhero. It's kind of an everyday person about his kid. And then Damian tries out for soccer, and he's getting a lot of good moments there, and you can see him as a dad cheering his son on, and it's not stuff we get to see all that often. So I like moments like that, and he outwits some of the other soccer players until before the big moment, the goalie ends up stopping him, and Damian just kind of stands there dumbfounded like, what? He stopped me? And so that inevitably leads to him investigating the soccer team, and he's going to join this soccer team now because he made the team officially now, and he's going to do his own little investigation on one end, and then he figures out that there was something off with the kid who caught his goal, and Bruce is like, not everyone has to be a criminal, and then they come to find out the big reveal that this is the son of Victor Zsasz, if you will. So that was a cool reveal. We also see Damian listening in on some kids making fun of him, and Bruce is trying to talk to him, and he's like, it's all right, father. And like I said, I like those moments, and that's probably why it was my favorite, because we get a lot of moments of Damian just at school, which is the stuff I'm more interested in. It's kind of that slice of life element to it. There's obviously going to be some manga influence, because obviously Williamson brought that to the Robin book, and now he's going to start to integrate that more into Batman and Robin. So now that Damian's in high school, we're going to get to explore that a little bit more, and that's the stuff that has me most excited. He's already making friends with this girl named Erica. He has his own rival that he's going to try and constantly outwit and try to... Eventually, Damian's going to beat the crap out of this guy. I just know it. It's going to be a fun moment when it happens, but he's also trying to hold back as much restraint as possible, and the inevitable moment when that comes is going to be pretty funny. Plus, having the goalie revealed to be the son of Victor Zsasz also makes things interesting. Now we have a psychotic killer that's also on Damian's team. We have the mystery of his principal and all the other stuff with Shush and that. So there's a lot of different moving pieces, but like I said, the thing that I like the most is the more slice of life moments, the stuff with them out of the suits. I mean, I get plenty of stories with Batman and Robin fighting crime, but I don't really get to see as much of them outside of it, dealing with everyday, like, sort of people, if you will, because I feel like with all that's going on in DC, there's always some crazy event. It's nice to have something that feels a little bit more down to earth with the characters interacting. Now, does it necessarily fit with all that's going on in continuity? I don't exactly know where everything's at, but this is the stuff that interests me more. The more down to earth, grounded stuff, just father and son kind of interacting. We get him in the school and all that other stuff. So I'm liking the moving pieces there. I like the artwork. The style is within this issue as well. And I think this is my favorite issue of the run so far. This is where things are going to hopefully start to kick into high gear. I know Flatline's supposed to show up soon. I think it's in the next 2 issues or whatnot, but we also have the annual coming up, and I think that's coming out the end of this month, so definitely going to be talking about that one as well. But anyways, what did you all think of Batman and Robin issue number 5? Where does this rank in terms of like this current comic book? Like, do you like this issue the most or not? Post your comments down below. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.